Happy Friday! Welcome to yet another episode of Founders Friday. Excited to be back again with this episode. All right, so today we're going to talk a little bit about the big picture, the strategy. We are afraid of strategy, but we also love strategy. We don't always get enough time to do it. So maybe the first question to start with is, how do we do strategy? How do the two of us work on strategy, but also with the board?
Yeah, great question. We like to do what we call the retreat. We call it the Founders Retreat. We actually look back at the impact that we've had. We have our reflective processes, rose, thorn, bolt, what worked, what didn't, what's our biggest bottleneck, for example. We kind of first go through I think the unpacking process of where we are and what has gone well and wrong. Not so well, I wouldn't say wrong. I think everything has something to teach us. Then we kind of sit down to think about a number of how many people do we want to reach, right? I think there's a process that we've been following. We've been inspired by the Mulagos methodology, the framework of thinking about scale. So we start asking ourselves the question of are we doing this thing good enough? Our current model, is it simple enough? Is it quote unquote cheap enough for us to be able to replicate that? And I believe there is a fourth one that I'm completely blanking on right now.
Big enough.
Big enough, yeah. Is the idea big enough for us to actually think about the next steps, or is it something that's already been met? And maybe we should actually move on. And I think it's a real talk that we need to have. And through that all, I think we kind of then pull threads, a common thread that we see of okay, this works, this needs to go. And I think that's where we engage with one another a lot more. And I meant literally the team sits together. We've done that earlier this year in February with our leadership team. Once that's done, we present it to the board. The board reviews it, and we then also host what we call the media or founder town hall, where we actually invite partners in our network to come and give us feedback on what they think, and we continue refining it. So we've done that, I think, for the last 3 years or so. I think there are refined versions that we've been working on, and right now we are looking at our plan for 2040.
Yeah. And speaking of plan for 2040, so this was a process that started for us, essentially last year. We've kind of been spending, we usually do it around this time of the year in the summer, so it kind of gives us that perspective on what's already working and what we're looking forward to. So the big question we typically ask in that strategy, and we'll share the full document below afterwards, but the big question we ask is, what's our audacious goal? So for folks watching, Sanki, can you give us an insight into what's that big audacious goal?